Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, what can all of us learn from Eastern medicine? An integrative approach to healing. Next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, I think you would all agree that Big Pharma is so powerful right now in the U.S. that so much of Western medicine is training doctors to pull out a prescription pad and write a prescription for a pill. And not every ailment can be cured with a pill. My next guest knows that very well because he was a patient first, and then he took on a practice. Kalpesh Patel with On Point Acupuncture and Wellness. Thanks for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you for having me, Jeff.
Let's start with your journey because you lifted weights and you were lifting heavy.
Yeah.
And it caused a problem that Western medicine wasn't solving.
Agreed. And so, long story short, I was 17 years old when I'd been in the high school football program, and I'd lifted a lot of heavy free weights. That's the whole mantra of when you play football. You lift a lot of free weights, low repetition, high weight, so it's tolling on your joints. And after a couple of years of doing that, my strength definitely went up, but then eventually my joints came crashing down as far as the whole pain and inflammation spectrum kind of kicked in for me. It all crashed, I should say, as far as my health relatively when I was in college. So I was 20 years old when all this pain started to happen, and it kind of progressed over a couple of years. And as I had gone and seen different doctors, honestly, all I got was pills or some type of electric stimulation to help try to subside some of the inflammation. But honestly, it was just a bunch of Band-Aids in my opinion. It just kept on getting worse. And I went from being able to lift almost twice my body weight, whether it was bench or a squat, to being forced to use a battery operated toothbrush just because of the sheer amount of chronic pain I would have in my elbows. And trying to fall asleep would be impossible. So being able to lift that much to not being able to do much of anything was, how to put this, a complete shift in my whole mindset. And I went through a couple years of not thinking I'd ever, get better. And so I myself have kind of learned through my journey that an integrative approach is kind of what helped me, and I hope others can kind of benefit from that same kind of viewpoint in medicine. But I actually came across a gymnast as I was going to the gym one time at Ohio State campus, and he had actually had bicep tendonitis, and so he had shared with me that to go to his acupuncturist. And after seeing his physique and how strong and well put together his body physique was, honestly, it kind of inspired me to go try it. And honestly, it was just a game changer for me, helped me with my pain. And then honestly, I had to go for a couple rounds, but it allowed me to get back to lifting. And I'm just forever grateful and honestly thankful that it guided me towards this kind of career path.
An amazing story, and thank you for the work that you're doing in the community to heal people. We're going to pull up his website, and as we scroll down his website, you're going to discover that it's more than just acupuncture. You have so many different approaches to healing, and as we scroll down, maybe mention a couple of them.
Sure. So we do cupping in our office, as well as facial cupping. It's more of a cosmetic kind of approach, but as you see, Imelda, she's the picture profile next to me. She's an amazing esthetician as well as a massage therapist. She's gone through, honestly, her own cancer journey, so she's actually oncology certified, but she does facial cupping and a lot of other holistic kind of cosmetic kind of approaches. And I do Chinese herbal medicine, so that's kind of some spectrum of what we offer.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I found some video of you doing an acupuncture procedure, and why don't you narrate this for us? What are we looking at?
Sure. So basically, I'm doing a point that's what we regard to as on the lung channel. This point is actually right next to another point that can actually curb craving. So actually, this is a 2-for-1 kind of a point insertion. This point here actually is great for headaches and migraines. That's kind of on the hand here. This is pretty common for a lot of digestive issues as well, or sinus issues. more if you can get colds, as far as that point that was last shown.
That is so fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think a lot of Western doctors would say, oh, no, that's all kind of like hocus pocus, but it's not.
No, agreed. And so honestly, there's a lot of science that does back it up. Now, as far as the way that studies are conducted in the US, in my opinion, there is a flaw with the placebo aspect of the trials. And so anyway, if we were to able to correct that, in my opinion, the outcomes would actually be much greater in favor of acupuncture.
Sure.
The studies that are done in other countries, how do I put this, have a much greater, I should say, positive outcome because of the studies are done without that kind of flawed placebo kind of effect.
Sure.
And so anyway, a lot of these studies that, in conclusion, find that acupuncture to be a placebo because the placebo kind of skews the result kind of, chart.
Understood.
And so anyway, that's kind of more the evidence-based aspect of it. But as far as just pain relief, Western medicine, in my opinion, tends to struggle in a lot of autoimmune issues, such as arthritis. And arthritis pain, in my opinion, is easily treatable. It's typically from, relative overuse of joints, but honestly, a lack of blood flow.
Sure.
And honestly, circulation, it plays a big part in our recovery for everything. So in my journey and, focus on health and wellness and holistic care, circulation is actually what we tend to focus on a lot with a lot of patients. So in my opinion, that's typically not viewed as the way we look at it, from the Western lens.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you mentioned cupping earlier. I was on one of your social media platforms. He's very active in social media. And I found a nice video you put together on cupping. Let's go ahead and roll that.
So the reason why I added cupping to my practice is actually because we are trained in it through our graduate studies, and cupping is a modality that goes hand in hand with acupuncture in traditional Chinese medicine. And so that's why we do cupping at our practice, not just because we are trained in it from our graduate studies. It has an amazing complement to acupuncture, and so that's why we love incorporating it here at On Point Acupuncture Wellness. Cupping can work locally and manually on the local area, while acupuncture can work in other areas of the body for the main area that's of concern. So we don't have to go local with the acupuncture, and that's why they can complement each other. One is going to help more manually and create a negative pressure. The cupping creates a suction, which is often referred to as a reverse massage. So instead of pushing in, it actually will pull out and decompress the tissue. So another term for it is myofascial decompression. And so the stronger the suction, it can provide a deep tissue-like effect. If you are to kind of release the pressure and make it much lighter, it can kind of provide more of a Swedish massage-like comforting feel, and the effectiveness of a massage, which can help promote blood flow to an area, is what cupping can provide. As well as body cupping will leave marks which are more like stains from the toxins and stuff released from your system, compared to fascia cupping, which does not leave any marking at all because of the way that it's performed. So cupping is more manual. The acupuncture is going to be able to work from a distance. Combined, they can help provide a much deeper relaxation than just using one modality. And so that's why cupping can complement acupuncture, and that's why I love using both together when a patient is coming in for a treatment. It just depends on all what they need, but they're amazing when you put them together.
So fascinating. Okay, and it doesn't hurt.
No, it's really comfortable. We can see the pressure based on the clear glass, and so we can always ask the patient to adjust the pressure. So that's kind of the unique thing, is some people like stronger, kind of to release the tension, and some people want it light and just kind of relax. So we can kind of play to everyone's preferences.
It's also fascinating that you can use it to plump your lips.
Yeah.
And you said Katy Perry does kind of a facial cupping
So
thing?
I actually have a YouTube clip of her going to the Met Gala in New York, and one of her routines that she does literally right where she's getting ready is facial cupping. And so as soon as she gets in her hotel room in the video clip, she's laying on the table getting these little blue cups. And so the negative pressure is promoting more blood flow to the surface, which is strengthening collagen, the elastin fibers. And so she has an instant glow.
Wow.
It's really relaxing.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the integrative approach. When somebody comes, sometimes they're just saying, okay, I have this problem. You're
Yeah.
not, you get to say, here's the menu of services.
Agreed.
This is how we could approach that.
Agreed. So I get a lot of patients that are, involved with Western care. And in my opinion, integrative care is what I would love to have, take shape as we go forward in our healthcare system, where, we can complement. And so, for example, I get patients that come in, they're either trying to lose weight or they have blood pressure issues, or maybe they have both. But in conjunction with the treatments that we do, and then they can go to their providers and get their checkups. When their labs show a better, kind of prognosis is everything, then we can start to, have an exit strategy for these medications that might be causing X, Y, Z in terms of side effects.
Yes.
So I had a couple patients come in, and they're coming in for weight gain because honestly their medications is one of their side effects.
Wow.
So for one particular patient, we got them on herbs and we got their blood pressure lowered through that process. And then we were able to help them lose weight a lot quicker because their medications weren't causing them to gain it back.
Yes.
So this is kind of how we can complement the overall approach. We try to work with these providers, and once we can get the patient improved, and the provider is easy in terms of helping them get off the medication because they're seeing the improvement.
Wow. I think that's so fascinating. And you're right. There's too many people on a cocktail of medicines that probably interact poorly. You also have just dozens and dozens of great testimonial videos. Let's go ahead and roll one.
My name is Amy. I came in with a very bad sinus pressure headache, and he put a couple of needles in my hands, and I have no pressure whatsoever right now.
Okay, so in the minute or so we have left, I want you to look into the camera on the left and talk to the person who, they're intrigued. We got them to the point where they say, you know what, Western medicine's not working for me. Let me try a little Eastern. What words of encouragement can you leave people with?
Honestly, acupuncture is really comfortable if you go to the right provider. In my approach, I like to have a lot of relaxation with my treatment. So if you've gone through the spectrum of different providers and you're not getting relief, I would recommend trying anything holistic, especially acupuncture. It is a game changer when it comes to pain. People that have had to go through surgeries that they're not recovering well, this can help speed up the recovery, even sometimes avoid the surgery in general. If you haven't found any answers or struggling to feel better to get back to your life, honestly, you've got to give this a shot. In my opinion, this was one of my last chances. And honestly, now going forward, it's my first option. So I hope for everyone, they kind of hear my message to, give this a chance. Hope you get back to your life.
Outstanding. I can see why you're so successful. We're going to end with his website, which is opawellness.com, the great Kalpesh Patel. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.